I think the message that I wished I would have received from parents, family, teachers was more of an active encouragement to figure out who I was, and to sort of an approach from a parent that would be really active in teaching a child that figuring out who you are and also being comfortable enough to communicate that in the world and be in the world is one of the most important parts of growing up. One of the most, to me, that's more important than getting into a good school, getting a good job. I mean, that is the base foundational thing that's under every single thing I do as an adult, is just, do I believe I'm okay? Do I believe that I am worthy of being in this position or being considered for this or trying to build this relationship?
Growing up as a gay kid was not easy. I was fortunate in many ways to grow up in a small town, in a close-knit community that felt very nurturing and supportive. But the price that you pay in these situations is conformity. So I felt that on one end, I lacked the concepts or the words to articulate what I was feeling inside. But that doesn't mean that I didn't know who I was.
I grew up in a small town in the Pacific Northwest, and a very religious community. I was really involved in a church, and my family was very much involved in the church. As far as a support system, I have really mixed feelings looking back, because in so many ways it was an amazing support system. But I also know it was an amazing support system based also on what I was hiding about myself. I look back on pictures of myself as a kid and think, you're really only seeing 60%. And maybe that 60% was like, whoa! But yeah, I think that's what comes up for me when I think back on what might have been different if I had been in a place where the message I was getting from my peers and those who were in positions of power was, the more you show, the more love you'll receive. And if that's a message that we can be helping people hear and understand, even if in a small way in our local community, that's something that I feel really connected to, because I know how much of a difference it would have made for me. It means a lot to be able to support an organization that's doing something that is so personal for me. I feel like I've learned so much in the last few years, not just about myself, but about the systems of oppression that exist in the world right underneath our nose all over the place. And it's one of those things that for me would have made such a difference, that even if we're helping on a small scale, even if we're reaching a small handful of people, it still means a lot, because this is stuff that's going to affect someone's self-image and self-acceptance for the rest of their life. Just the fact that they're teenagers now. There's a lot of things going in that that are going to take some time to unpack and figure out and grapple with over the next however many decades for kids and teens that are dealing with this now.
So I often wonder, what would I tell the younger version of me? What kind of advice would I give? And I think that I would say, just be you authentically and unapologetically, because that helps others feel comfortable and safe in doing so themselves. Having a place like SMYRC in my small town growing up would have meant acceptance and self-acceptance. It would have meant identifying words and concepts that could have helped me articulate what I was feeling inside in an authentic way. It would have meant seeing role models and starting to identify with them, it would have helped me not to feel lonely, and it would have helped me feel exposed to the variety of journeys that ultimately empower us to be who we are.
An organization like SMYRC would have been amazing. I've learned so much as an adult about what I needed as a child. None of that I was aware of that then. And I think probably the biggest thing that I lacked most of my life was feeling really seen, feeling really accepted in full. This is so important right now is a combination of where I'm at as a professional and what my capabilities are, but also where I'm at as a gay man and my own journey of self-acceptance and how I know in my body what it means to see someone who's comfortable with that. And if I can be that for someone else, then I want to be.
I feel now is the time for me to tell this side of my story, because I think I know myself well enough to be able to speak authentically about myself and my life experience. I think that if I achieve something in life like self-acceptance, and I can pass it on to others or share it with others or model it for others, that feels like a real achievement, not just a personal one. And also, I think about those who are still struggling very much and suffering because of who they are and because of lack of acceptance and self-acceptance. And so I hope that this type of message and people being able to share their life experiences could be a source of comfort and guidance for those who are going through hardships right now.